unambiguously spelt out, while the armed forces were entrusted the wherewithal to plan and execute this operation. This balance between firm direction at the top and professional autonomy and flexibility at the operational level was a critical key to our success last year. It allowed us in the military to adapt swiftly, to deconflict, to synchronize, and to respond decisively in a dynamic, multi-domain battlefield. Operation Sindoor underscored India's evolving whole-of-government approach, which played out in a clockwork fashion on the battlefield. The highest offices and ministries of the government, intelligence agencies, cyber and information operation institutions, border guarding paramilitary forces such as the BSF, all worked in concert with the armed forces to execute an operation which is now being widely acknowledged as the gold standard both militarily and strategically across the world. Operation Sindoor was also a joint tri-services effort. It integrated land, air and maritime capabilities with shared situational awareness, common operation and intelligence pictures, and real-time decision making. Standoff precision strikes, 9 in all, 7 executed by the Indian Army and 2 by the Indian Air Force, were timed to perfection, achieved total surprise, and inflicted maximum damage in each established terror hub deep in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir and heartland Pakistan, signaling that no sanctuary is safe. All this while all of Pakistan's effort to target our military infrastructure and bases came to a knot due to a very carefully and deliberately laid out air defense architecture. We planned, executed, and concluded a complex multi-domain operation in a remarkably compressed time frame. The operation also showcased indigenous capability. A significant percentage of the weapon systems, munitions, rockets and missiles, sensors and electronic warfare suits that were employed were developed and produced in India. The BrahMos, Akash, advanced surveillance and targeting systems, along with homegrown ammunition and spares, all played a decisive role. Indigenous equipment meant not only just self-reliance, but the flexibility to tailor these to our operational requirements, sustain and maintain supply chains, and to respond with speed and confidence. Operation Sindoor proved that Atmanirbhar is not just a slogan. It is indeed a force multiplier. Today, over 65% of our defense equipment is being manufactured domestically. I also want to speak here of our exit strategy and escalation control. In an era of prolonged conflicts around the world, we struck hard, achieved clearly defined objectives, and then decided to cease hostilities when the Pakistanis were compelled to negotiate and requested us to stop. The objectives were achieved through a calibrated shot and sharp shock that altered the enemy's risk appetite and disrupted his command and control, without locking India into a long-drawn war or conflict, the ill effects of which we are seeing in ongoing conflicts around the world. This measured approach reflects the maturity of our strategic culture and the professionalism of our armed forces. Finally, the operation placed enormous responsibility on every arm of the state. Intelligence agencies provided the accurate information that is so critical to precision targeting. Cyber and electronic warfare units maintained information dominance. The government managed the international environment, as also the internal security and public reassurance. The armed forces executed the kinetic phase with discipline, precision, and minimal collateral impact. This multi-agency, multi-domain coordination will remain the template for future operations. Operation Sindoor was not an end, it was just the beginning. और यहाँ पर जन कवि दुष्यंत कुमार त्यागी की एक मौलिक रचना का प्रभावशाली अंश मैं आपके सामने रखना चाहता हूं। सिर्फ हंगामा खड़ा करना मेरा मकसद नहीं, सिर्फ हंगामा खड़ा करना मेरा मकसद नहीं, मेरी कोशिश है कि ये सूरत बदलनी चाहिए। India's fight against terror, ladies and gentlemen, will go on. A year on, we remember not just the operation, but also the principle behind it. India will defend its sovereignty, its security, its people, decisively, professionally, and with the utmost responsibility. Jai Hind.